So wherever I can contribute to a positive ending to this whole thing, I'm going to try my best to do that.
We've heard you talk about the former president. You have called him a fraud, a con artist. You've said he's a New Yorker like you, and you have watched this brand of BS.
Say the enemy from within, the other side goes crazy, becomes a sound. Oh, how can he say? No, they've done very bad things to this country. They are indeed the enemy from within.
Robert De Niro just called Trump a monster on live TV, and he didn't stop there. The legendary actor went full Goodfellas on JD Vance for his embarrassing flip-flop from Trump critic to Trump fanboy. Remember when Vance said Trump was America's Hitler? Yeah, neither does JD Vance apparently. De Niro just exposed this political amnesia in the most brutal takedown we've seen this year, and Vance's reaction is exactly what you'd expect from someone caught with their pants down on national television. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Did you know JD Vance once called Trump America's Hitler? Yeah, that happened. This is the same guy who now stands behind Trump at rallies looking like he's being held hostage by his own career choices. Talk about a political 180 that would make even professional gymnasts dizzy. Robert De Niro didn't just criticize Vance, he absolutely demolished him with the same precision we've seen in his most iconic film roles. When De Niro speaks, people listen, and he brought that same mob boss energy from the silver screen right into the political arena. It's like watching Don Corleone calmly explaining why someone has deeply disappointed the family.
We've heard you talk about the former president. You have called him a fraud, a con artist. You've said he's a New Yorker like you, and you have watched this brand of BS.
Because it's important. It's not. This is the moment of truth, and I can't sit by and allow this to happen. I think of how absurd it is, and this might be the one case where that could be it for him. It's a state case.
If you've ever seen De Niro as Jake LaMotta in Raging Bull or Jimmy Conway in Goodfellas, you know the man can be terrifying without raising his voice. That same intimidating presence was on full display when he turned his attention to Vance. It wasn't just acting this time, it was De Niro genuinely concerned about where our democracy is heading when politicians change their entire belief system faster than teenagers change their Instagram profiles. The receipts against Vance are absolutely damning. This is a guy who didn't just disagree with Trump, he called him an idiot and cultural heroin. He described Trump as noxious and reprehensible. Those aren't mild critiques, those are the words of someone who supposedly had moral convictions. Well, apparently those convictions came with an expiration date. Now look at Vance today, awkwardly clapping at Trump rallies with all the enthusiasm of someone who's been told their job depends on their applause volume. The footage is painful to watch. There's Vance nodding along to whatever Trump says, desperately trying to convince everyone, and probably himself, that Trump is now America's only hope. The transformation is so complete, it's almost like he's been replaced by a political body snatcher.
He's sick. He is really, genuinely a sick person that somehow has been allowed into our system. So wherever I can contribute to a positive ending to this whole thing, I'm going to try my best to do that.
Does it give you some sense, not of joy, but of relief at least, that he's potentially facing some consequences? Because as you've said before, this guy's a con artist and he's gotten away with it for years.
What makes De Niro's takedown so effective isn't just that he's pointing out Vance's flip-flopping, it's his warning about what this represents. When politicians abandon their principles for power, we're not just witnessing personal hypocrisy. We're watching our democratic foundations being undermined in real time. De Niro isn't just mad, he's sounding an alarm. The internet, of course, did what it does best, turned the whole thing into an immediate meme festival. Goodfellas meets spineless fellas was just one of the captions that spread like wildfire. People photoshopped Vance into all sorts of humiliating scenarios, highlighting the awkwardness and desperation of his political transformation. Nothing kills a political career quite like becoming the internet's punching bag for the week. But the memes aside, it's De Niro's most powerful line about politicians abandoning their principles that really cuts to the bone. This isn't just about one senator's embarrassing about face.
I'm not calling him, I'm tired of calling him names. He just can't be anywhere near the office of the presidency.
But this is who we're fighting.
He's talking about himself, the enemy within. He is the enemy within. He's projecting everything he says. It gets back to intimidation. It's funny, I was just thinking that he actually became president. He could have done good things. Instead, he had to do it all wrong.
It's about the danger posed when political ambition completely overtakes personal integrity. When people who once recognized a threat to democracy suddenly embrace that very same threat, we should all be concerned. And what exactly did De Niro say that has everyone talking? He didn't mince words, calling Trump beyond wrong and a monster who wants to do the most horrible things. This wasn't just celebrity commentary, it was a veteran actor, using his platform to express genuine alarm about the direction of American politics. The most humiliating part for Vance might be how Trump treats him despite his complete loyalty transformation.
You've played a lot of bad guys. Would you ever play Donald Trump?
Never. There's nothing about him, there's not one redeeming thing in him that I can see, ever.
Say the enemy from within, the other side goes crazy, becomes a sound. Oh, how can he say? No, they've done very bad things to this country. They are indeed the enemy from within. And
he's so, as we all know, so narcissistic and self-centered. I don't think they really understand. And historically, from what I see, even in Nazi Germany, they had it with Hitler.
Trump shows no respect for the very people who've abandoned their principles to support him. It's the ultimate embarrassment to sell your soul and not even get acknowledgement for the transaction. Vance has gone from calling Trump America's Hitler to being Trump's awkward background prop. And Trump can barely remember his name half the time. What De Niro exposed goes way beyond one spineless politician doing a political backflip. This is the whole Trump loyalty circus in action, where formerly sane Republicans transform into nodding bobbleheads the moment Trump snaps his fingers. The scariest part isn't just watching JD kiss the ring after calling Trump horrible names. It's what this political musical chairs represents for our democracy. As De Niro pointed out, this trend reflects a much bigger problem where politicians toss their principles in the garbage for a taste of power. When our leaders care more about pleasing their orange overlord than standing up for what they once believed in, democracy starts circling the drain. The transformation of politicians from Trump critics to Trump fanboys is exactly how democracies turn into something way less fun. Loyalty to the big boss man trumps loyalty to the country. And that's how you get authoritarianism with a spray tan.